Hello, everyone. Thank you and welcome. Thank you for joining us today. I am Shanna Utgard. I'm the Senior Cybersecurity Advisor here at Defendify, and I am joined by two of my best Defendify buddies in the world. I have Glenn Capon and Jeff LaChance with me. Glenn and Jeff, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell everyone what you do here at Defendify?
Yeah, I'll start here. So my name's Glenn Capon. I'm one of our customer success managers. So work with our customers one-on-one, getting them onboarded, walking them through the process, as well as continued meetings and guidance. So see some familiar names. Good to see you guys trickling in here. Jeff, why don't you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hey, everybody. I'm Jeff LaChance. I'm the Cybersecurity Program Advisor. I work with all the direct customers here at Defendify, talking about what their needs are and their journey with cybersecurity, and then helping with them pass it over to Glenn and his team, and guiding them through the journey of cybersecurity.
Excellent. This is one of our most exciting announcements since we launched our managed detection and response module. So we are very excited to announce this to everybody. This is kind of a first look, aside from a couple of customers who have learned about this as we were starting to roll it out. So you're hearing about it before anybody else by joining us today, or if you're watching the recording later. So we are entitled $1 Million Peace of Mind with the Defendify Cybersecurity Service Warranty. That's our webinar title today. So a lot of you are probably curious what this is all about and how you can benefit from it. So let's start this off here. We'll get our little PowerPoint going here. So Glenn, I'm going to pop this first question over to you. So we are here to announce our newest offering, which is the Defendify Cybersecurity Service Warranty. So what is that?
Well, simply put, Defendify is now offering a cybersecurity service warranty that covers up to $1 million in breach response expenses if a Defendify customer with our all-in-one package experiences a security incident. Amazing.
So I know, I guess as the old adage goes, we have decided to put our money where our mouth is. Is that fair to say?
Fair enough, yes.
And Jeff, I thought you were supposed to dress up as Dr. Evil for this presentation and do the 1 million.
I forgot my cat too, so
all right. Well, we wouldn't work without the cat, so I'm glad I bailed on it. So up to $1 million in breach response expenses if somebody experiences a cybersecurity incident. So one of the things that I love talking to people about is, cybersecurity. It's an ongoing posture. It's not a one and done project that you do. So to kind of reinforce that, the other component of it is that even if you do everything that NIST and all of these organizations say that you should do in order to protect your business, if you do all of those things, like I'm not going to have a breach, right? Well, no, nothing is 100% foolproof. So in the case that something does happen, this is going to cover some of those expenses and reimburse for that. So question, because I know this is something that comes up a lot. Glenn, is this insurance?
That's a great question, and certainly want to clarify. So the quick answer is no, this is not insurance. But that's part of the reason why we decided to add the cybersecurity service warranty to the Defendify offering. Many of our customers came to us because they were running into walls with cybersecurity insurance applications, underwriting, the claims process even. So right now, the cybersecurity landscape is getting increasingly difficult to navigate. Things like requirements for coverage, they're being asked to put more things in place, high premiums or higher premiums for low coverage limits. Also, customers flat out being told that they're uninsurable. I've heard this a lot, and or receiving non-renewal letters. It's crazy. So we want to provide this value add to customers who understand the value of implementing a multi-layered approach and go with our full program.
I could not agree more, because I've done obviously a lot of these webinars, worked a lot with our amazing marketing team to talk about the things that are being talked about in the industry. And some of the heaviest traffic that we get to the Defendify website is from a lot of the posts and articles that we put out about cybersecurity insurance. I think the webinar that I did last November, I believe it was, where we had a cybersecurity insurance guy on with us, it was one of the most viewed, both live and the recording. So a lot of people are struggling with this. I've heard it that they're struggling with their cybersecurity insurance applications. So not insurance, but helping people to do something other than navigate that tough process. So how much does this cost? Is this like something that we would add on, another thing to purchase? Tell me a little bit about the cost.
Yeah, and I'm sure all of you are wondering that, well, okay, how much is this going to cost? We think of, any sort of warranty or insurance or anything like that, there's usually a cost, but that's the beauty of this is no, this service is included in our all-in-one subscription.
Woo!
Yeah.
As I joke around a lot, free is my second favorite four-letter word that begins with F. The first one's food. So free, it's included for customers with our all-in-one subscription. So does that mean that only customers who have every single Defendify module? Because if you remember back from when you were working with Jeff and developing a program that worked, or one of our other program advisors, most of you have probably worked with Jeff though. When you're developing that program that meets your needs, we have our three different buckets or layers of cybersecurity protection, whether you're looking for assessments and testing, policies and training, detection and response. It's kind of one of those, let's build something that meets your needs and takes you from where you currently are to where you're trying to get to, or where someone's telling you need to go. Or so do you have to have implemented every single module in all of those layers in order to qualify for this? Like which of our Defendify customers are eligible for the service warranty?
That's a great question. And so, you don't necessarily have to have, all of the modules if you're an existing customer. Contact your success manager, or if you're not an existing customer, you can contact one of our program advisors who can work with you to understand and help us understand what your environment looks like and what modules you'd need to implement to receive the warranty coverage.
Perfect. You guys are like full service cyber helpers. So is this something that can replace our customers' need for cybersecurity insurance, or will they still need that as well?
Yeah, again, a great question. And I like to compare it to, just like if you're taking a natural supplement, it doesn't mean that you have or that you should go off of all of your prescription medications without your doctor's approval. We wouldn't want to tell you to drop your cybersecurity insurance. There are likely coverages in your insurance policy that our service warranty does not provide. Depending on your size, company specifics, or nature of your business, you may need other types of protection or higher coverage limits to fully recoup any losses from an event. However, it can also be possible to reduce cyber insurance premiums or show that you're taking additional steps to be more insurable in the eyes of your underwriter.
So could potentially maybe get a discount on that crazy cybersecurity insurance premium if you're saying, hey, we're doing all these amazing things. I know we've talked about that a lot with some of our existing customers and going back to their current insurance providers and saying, hey, when we first filled out that crazy long, insane application, we had this, and this in place, but since we've come on with Defendify, we've implemented detection and response, better endpoint protection. We're training our employees. We're doing vulnerability scanning. Really cool article that came out, and I think it probably will show up in one of the threat alerts that one of the Kaspersky, I think it was, said that vulnerabilities are now surpassing phishing attacks as the #1 threat entry point. So doing that ongoing vulnerability scanning and risk management. Cool. So moving on to our next slide here. So let's get into a little bit of the nitty gritty. And I also want to remind everybody, if you are on the webinar and you're listening and you're following along, if you have any questions of your own, please feel free to pop them down into the chat or find my, there again. Pop them into the chat or the Q&A if you have any questions that you would like us to cover or answer. So go ahead and take a minute to locate that. We'll see. Hopefully we'll cover a lot of these in our last couple of minutes here. So let's get into a little bit of the nitty-gritty of this offering. So Jeff, you've been kind of sitting there and hanging out. I'm going to pop some of these questions over to you since you're working with a lot of our customers and getting them set up with this service. So what types of events are covered?
Well, great question, Shanna. We have 5 that we cover from a ransomware event, business email compromise, which is BEC event, a compliance event, which, a compliance event is a cyber breach that triggers like HIPAA, PCI, OSHA, and or state related, including, but not limited to like data loss or sanction non-compliance penalty or fine and other related expenses. Now, we also have 2 more. We have the cyber legal liability event, which basically outlines a suit arising out of a breach of privacy and or security related to a cyber attack. For example, like loss or misuse of data, media parallel, related to content on your website. So where legal defense expenses and settlement costs are incurred, right? And then the last one of the 5 is the business income event. So those 5 are covered under our warranty.
Okay, so just to recap here, we have ransomware event, which if you haven't heard how prevalent those are, then probably living under a, digital rock, no technology at all. It's in the news and the headlines like crazy. A lot of people coming to us saying that they've had something happen or had a very close call with ransomware. So that's a huge one right there. So ransomware event. Business email compromise. I know several people that are on this call right here, their organization had situations of business email compromise and had their email addresses taken over and fraudulent invoices sent out and either had payments going to the wrong place or didn't get money in. So there's a lot of, like funds transfer or other types of fraud that we're seeing all the time. We have an article on our website about the complete guide to business email compromise, and that one gets so many hits because it's a big problem. And then the compliance side of things, I know a lot of organizations are under some type of compliance. So the certain regulatory fines, penalties, all those different compliance related costs. The lawsuit costs and privacy violations, data loss, misuse, those kind of legal liability side of things. And then business income event. So that is really awesome because not a lot of policies, like on the cyber insurance side, you have to specifically look and see if you have that kind of like business interruption or, that lost revenue while you're down. I know one of the customers that we talked to was a local company here in Maine, and they were down for an entire month, like no operations happening whatsoever for an entire month, and that could be crippling for a lot of organizations. So lost business income, big thing. So for customers that are existing, that are already using Defendify, they've implemented all of the modules, they've gone through our entire onboarding process, or even like new customers who are coming on board right now, what does the process look like for them to sign up for our service warranty?
Well, that's another easy process. So the one of the things what's great is that your success manager will help guide you through that process. So the process is significantly easier than obtaining, your insurance coverage. So reach out to your success manager. They'll walk you through the process during your onboarding or your monthly meetings or anytime you need to reach out to them.
Awesome. So just like a lot of the other Defendify services, we are there to take you through every single one of the, I say we, I don't have to do any of this. It's all you guys. Take you through all those steps, get you set up, get everything, like completed and cross all the I's and dot all the T's. That's right, right?
Yeah.
Are there any other requirements for the warranty coverage? Because I know a lot of customers, when they're looking to get financial assistance in the event of an incident, there are all kinds of things that they have to have implemented. There are hoops that they have to jump through. So what are the different requirements for this coverage?
Another great question, Shannon. So, of course, customers are expected to have reasonable mitigation measures in place. For example, a few examples would be applying patches and updates and using things like MFA and having offline backups, having endpoint protection with our managed detection and response team. But most of these requirements are likely being met through your Defendify subscription. But for specific questions or for customers under regulatory compliance, reach out to your success manager or folks like myself, your program advisor, that we can cover specific requirements.
So much like a lot of the other things that we need, we should be covering the basics here. So, our multi-factor authentication and vulnerability scanning, which, again, a lot of you are existing Defendify customers, so you already have those things in place, but we should be doing the basics and fundamentals to get ourselves and organizations above that cybersecurity poverty line, so to speak. We do have a question here. So, somebody said, if we have cyber insurance, does this warranty kick in after we've exhausted our insurance claim payout? A lot of the times, depending on the nature of the incident, this is going to be a really lawyery type answer, so I apologize for the it depends. But there could be a potential intersection between the two products. If the event is large enough to exceed the amount of protection that is covered under the Cybersecurity Service Warranty, then you might want to pull in insurance for that. But a lot of our customers have the options there of which of these cover, or whether they want to use the service warranty or their insurance. So that's kind of one of those things where if and when we spill the milk, we can figure out, what to do from there with the cow themselves. But what is the process, Jeff, to file a claim if and when the bad thing does happen, which we know it can and will? What's that process look like?
Well, we all hope that doesn't happen, right? So, but they're just like the rest of Defendify all-in-one cybersecurity program. We're going to guide you through the whole entire process, right? Remediation, repairs, reimbursements, they're quick and easy. So our team is going to be working with you hand in hand.
Perfect. And from what I understand, it's a pretty simple claim process. We verify it because obviously if we're providing you with all-in-one protection, we've got all of those event logs and all the data and everything to be able to sift through and see exactly what happened. So we'll verify all of that type of stuff. For most of our customers, we already know that you have those requirements in place. You're doing your employee training, you're doing your ongoing vulnerability scanning, make sure you apply the patches. And we just check the things that are kind of outside of Defendify. You have the backups and that you've applied those patches, and obviously you've done a risk assessment because you've been going through the Defendify platform. And a lot of people find that it can be faster and easier than trying to file an insurance claim. But again, going back to the question that Josh had asked, if the intersection of that cyber insurance and our service warranty, you may decide to go one way versus the other based on the amount of the claim and what that process might look like. Awesome. So that's some of the nitty gritty there. If we have some more questions, go ahead and pop them down there into the chat or the Q&A. Hey, Jared. I'll answer your question there in a minute. So let's cover some of the feedback that we've received, because we started rolling this out individually to some of our existing Defendify customers who were covered with our all-in-one protection. So obviously, Jeff, you've been out on the front lines a lot here, getting customers set up and talking about this in your initial, consultations where you're going through their needs, helping them to design that program that will help them get to that, acceptable risk level for a reasonable investment. So what have our customers been saying about this when you're initially either announcing it or you're onboarding them into the service warranty?
Well, that's interesting. When we rolled this out in August, it's been a great conversations with customers. One of the things that we do here is we review cyber insurance policies, we review those controls and go over them. But when we show them this, it's been a game changer. They great reception to it. In what you mentioned right off the bat, putting your money where your mouth is, and that's what we're doing here. And I think it's very interesting. You look at what we're offering, an all-in-one solution plus the warranty, We're trying to be the partner that you're in your cybersecurity, journey. So that's what we're doing here, and that's what we've been hearing over and over again. Customers, new customers, existing customers, are saying the same thing. They love the what we're doing here, and providing this just brings us to the next level. So yeah, very great reception to it.
Kind of seems to me, because anybody that knows me knows that I'm the analogy queen. So it kind of seems to me, and I'm spitballing on this one, so bear with me. It's like we're a driver's ed course and a defensive driving class and cybersecurity insurance, right? Well, but we're not. So like, let's say, or I should say car insurance. We give you the fundamentals. We give you all of the basics there. We train your teams. We take you through risk assessments. We identify vulnerabilities. We put all of the endpoint protection and everything, all the preventive measures there in place, teach you all the basics and the fundamentals. And then, we've got like kind of the defensive driver side of things. But then after, like, if the bad thing happens, then we've got kind of that peace of mind that you'll have, a rental car, you'll be able to get back up and running, you'll be able to drive to work if you're still driving to work and not, shuffling into the office in the house. So kind of both sides of the spectrum. A lot of people use the left and right of boom analogy, all the preventive up until that security incident, and then the recovery and the response afterwards. So we really have between all 13 modules in Defendify, as well as this, peace of mind, $1 million service warranty, both sides of that equation covered. If we spill the milk, we can cry a little bit, but we don't have to throw away the whole cow. Is that kind of a fair assessment there?
Yeah.
Or am I way off board
right
here?
That's spot on. You have the best analogies. I can vouch for that.
So speaking of that stream of consciousness, let's see if we have any other questions so far here in the chat. We got about 7 minutes left. I think this is a wonderful addition for us. Everybody knows how excited I was when our managed detection and response module came out. I don't know, was that 2 years ago, was it? Or yeah, right? Or was it last year? I don't remember. Time's hard for me. So this really rounds out that offering to me. We had a lot of the preventive side covered with the initial first 12 modules in the Defendify platform, the training, the testing, the assessments, the policies, all of that component. And then of course the incident response plan, but bringing that managed detection and response side of it just covered both ends of that really well. But now I think this goes to show how much we stand behind our all-in-one comprehensive cybersecurity services. The thing that I love the most about being a part of Defendify is we have an amazing platform. We automate so many of those, mundane security tasks, get those reports generating, everything happening kind of automatically in the background month after month after month. But also, put our money where our mouth is in if something bad happens, we are here to help you so that you're not struggling. And that ties to the other side of what we do here is the Defendify platform and app itself is awesome, makes a lot of people's lives easier, but it's our support. And if you look at I've spent a lot of time in our reviews and our G2 and all those other things. Everybody raves about the people. So I think this just adds another element there of that we're not just a vendor. We're not just selling you some subscription or service. Like, we are your partner in this cyber defense side of things. So helping you identify the risks, helping you to, find those vulnerabilities to remediate, training your team to be part of your cyber defense staff. And then that super fast detection, the full telemetry, and just enhanced visibility that comes in our managed detection and response service. And then also that when the thing happens that we're trying to prevent, because it will, we're going to minimize it as much as possible, get you back up and running, and make it so that the financial impact doesn't absolutely devastate. So we've got some people putting in questions. Jared, you had a question. You're one of our partners there. Would we work out with the success managers? Reach out to Glenn or Kim, and they can figure out how to get this positioned for you for the companies that you are working with. Looking to see if we have any other questions. Go ahead and type those into the chat as we're getting down to our last couple of minutes here. So if we have any other questions, and just a little reminder, if you're not yet a Defendify customer, this is how we stand behind this multi-layered approach. It's kind of like the Walmart of cybersecurity services. Whether you need, bed sheets or milk, you can find them all with one vendor. And then another thing too, I don't know if we have this in there at all, is we have a new thing that came out. If you do still have, and we recommend it, a cyber insurance policy, we have a new asset that we released that is 12 questions to ask your cyber insurance provider. So let me see about grabbing the link to that. I'll throw it down in the chat for everybody. If you haven't had a chance to check that out, that one's been getting a lot of awesome feedback. So let me post the link there for everyone. There we go, that should work. So 12 questions to ask your cyber insurance provider to make sure you've got good coverage, but also our Defendify Cybersecurity Service Warranty. But we are super excited about this new offering. Jeff, Glenn, anything you want to add or anything I missed?
I think one of the pieces that you mentioned, with the 3 layers that you have, and if you can go back to that slide from assessments and testing, policies and training, and detection and response, great feedback from one of a customer today this morning was the fact that, you had me at all in one, the single pane of glass. He said that adding this, adding the warranty is icing on the cake. And he said, reduction of vendor sprawl for him, he has numerous other, pieces in place. And, with our platform, with the reduction of vendors and sprawl, the cost will go down as well. So, that was great feedback this one that I heard.
Yeah, absolutely. And with the shortage right now, with good people and process, being able to augment that with our Defendify team, I mean, just everybody in all of the reviews that we keep getting in just rave about, like this, I came in for this one thing and then, I got all these, but at the end of the day, it's the support. They'll guide you there. Sometimes they've made recommendations outside of the platform, the assistance with, just everything cyber related is really like an extension of your own internal team. And in the current, state of cybersecurity and the just entire world in general, I think that is also that's kind of the icing between the 3 layers of the cake. See what I did there? Anyway, obviously we're super passionate and excited about what we're doing over here, and very excited to share with everybody the newest module. So whether you're watching us live right now, or if you're going back and watching the recording later, hopefully you feel the same way about this as we do, that you're psyched. Just gives you that extra added peace of mind, and obviously something that we wouldn't be able to offer if we weren't confident in everything that we're doing over here. So we've got an amazing team. Shout out to all the other Defendifiers, and we're growing. Got a brand new website if you haven't checked it out, so go ahead and meander over there, take a look at some of the content, things that we're producing. If you have any ideas, things that you want us to talk about, please send those along. We love hearing from our community. And other than that, if we have no other questions, then I will tell everyone until next time, stay safe.
See you guys.
See you,
Thanks,
everyone.
everyone.